So today we're going to do the topic 3, plan location, in which to determine where is the best to put up a new factory or to open a new branch or to move from one location to another. YouTube video already give the link, so you need to watch that. And also there's a factor influence the place that you're going to move. Okay, so need to consider many factor. And then kita tengok juga on the technique that they use to determine where is the best location. Special technique, okay, there's 3. The first one is the factorating. The second one is the center of gravity. And the third one is a bit panjang sikit with the calculation and a graph. We call it a cost volume analysis with the break-even formula. So the 3 techniques that you need to know. And today, I'm going to show you the past semester question on all of these 3 techniques so that you know how to solve the problem. So I hope everyone have watched the YouTube so that you have idea what I'm going to talk today. Nanti kang tak tahu, tak tengok, you akan bela all the way. Today kita akan start dengan June 2019. First we need to see the question first. Which technique antara 3 ni, which one that the question asks us to do. So the clue here, kalau you nampak there's a variable cost, fixed cost, you know that this must be locational cost volume analysis. Yang kena lukis graph and ada formula, break even, profit equal something. So you need to use this together, the break even formula and also the graph. Okay, so here they give us 2 location. Okay, kalau sometimes they give you 3. 2 ni just nice lah. So it's not too complicated. If 3 location, nanti panjang cerita dia sikit. But for this example, they give you 2 location and they want to determine the quantity of chicken for each location, Kedah and Pulau Pinang. How many chicken to produce so that you get the lowest cost. And which would be better if Kedah fixed cost is increased. So they change the fixed cost for Kedah. So 50,000, they change it, increase by 20%. Okay. And they need to supply Q equal to 20,000. So we need to do the calculation. And the third one, they give us about the profit margin and then selling price of the chicken, RM12 per chicken. So we know that they want us to find the quantity of chicken in each location. So we need to find the Q from this formula. Okay, so we know what technique to use and what are the information. So let's start. So we have the variable cost and the fixed cost. So let's see if they don't give you which one which, you know that fixed cost always big numbers. 1,000, 10,000, okay? 100,000 and above, because it involved with the land, okay, for the properties, machine. So variable cost usually a small fraction, the per unit. So that one is variable cost. But this one is clear cut. They give us which one is the variable and which one is the fixed. So we need to come up with the total cost. So TC we call it. So still remember TC formula, fixed cost plus variable cost we see here times Q. So how many equation that we need to do, because we have 2 locations, so we need 2 equation. So let's do the first one for the Kedah. We call it TCK. So Kedah fixed cost is 50,000 plus variable cost 8.8 Q. Okay, we done with one. So we're going to do the TCPP Pulau Pinang. So TCPP, the fixed cost is 80,000 plus a variable cost is 7.5 Q. So now we done with the first step in which we have to come up with the TC. So we have 2 TC for 2 locations. If they give you 3 locations, so you have to get 3 TC. Okay, done. So for the next step, before we draw the graph, we need to find the crossover. Still remember, some of you, crossover, bersilang. Okay, so if there are 3 locations, so we need to find the 2 titik bersilang antara line. And since this is a very straightforward, so since there are only 2 locations, so we know that we only have 1 crossover. So what we have to do to find the crossover, we need to make sure that TCK equal to TCPP and solve for Q. So we get the TCK equal TCPP and solve for Q, and then you get Q is 23,076.9. Remember, this is chicken. So since it's chicken, so you need to round up 23,077. Okay. So now you know these are crossover. So now you can start to draw the graph. Okay, so the graph at y-axis you kena ada apa? TC, total cost, RM. Kena ada RM, okay? If not, it's gonna be no currency. And for the x-axis, it's gonna be the Q. Q, the number of chicken. And then we need to know the scale. Okay, how to determine the scale? So first we set at Q0. Okay, when Q0, and then we plug in into this equation. So we put Q0 for TCK. When Q0, it's going to be 50,000. For TCPP, if we put Q0 here, we get 80,000. So done. So we know that the first Q0, the plot at the y-axis. And then now we want to have another one so that we can make a straight line. So I think since we know that the crossover is about 23,000, so I will make about, what about Q equal to 30,000? So I plan to have Q until up to 30,000, because if I take 25,000, it's going to be very short because the crossover at 23. So I take until 30,000 so that I can easily make the scale here. So 5, 10, 15K, 20K, and so on. So I set Q equal to 30 and plug in into this equation. Q equal to 30,000 here. So TCK going to be 314,000. And for the TCPP, when we put Q equal to 30,000 here, we're going to get 305,000. Okay. So now we want to know what is the maximum scale for the TC. So we have this 4 value of TC. So we know that 314. Okay, before that, we decide to do this until 30K, right? So we're going to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30K. Easy, okay? Easy to manage this scale. And then for the TC, it's going to be, the highest one is 314,000. So we're going to set here easy scale going to be 350K. So we have 50, 100, 150, and so on until 350K. Okay, because we know that 314 is the highest, so somewhere here. So now we want to plot. So start with the Kedah. So we have one Q0, TCK is 50. So we plot here. Okay, 0, 50. And then when Q 30,000, TCK will be 314. So 30,000, 314 is somewhere here. Okay, 314. Estimate about that. Okay, and then we make a straight line thus. And don't forget to label TCK. Now we're going to do for TCPP. So when Q0 TCPP is 80K, so 0 is going to be 80K somewhere here. And then we have when Q 30,000, we plug in here, we know that it's about 305. So 305 is about here. Okay, so then we have 2 here, 2 plot, and we just, okay, we make a straight line using ruler and you get TCPP. So you know that this is the crossover that you already found it here, 23. So approximately about there lah, 23,077. Okay, you have to put this here. Then you have to decide this one is belong to which TC here, and this one which. So we have 2 K and PP. So we know that how to determine which location belong to K or PP. We look at the lowest line here. The red color is K. So Kedah is going to be here. So how to put it here? Kedah less than 23077 because these are the crossover. And here definitely we know it's going to be PP, and we check, yes, PP is the purple one, it's the lowest line. So this one going to be Pulau Pinang is more than 23077. Okay, this is one is less for Kedah and more for Pulau Pinang. So we complete the graph. So can we answer the first question? Yes. Determine the monthly quantity of chicken required for each location. So we know that Kedah, the chicken must be less than 23,077, and for Pulau Pinang must be more than 23,077. Okay, so we're done with 3 marks. Next, we're going to do the question number 2. Which would be better location if Kedah fixed cost increase 20%? Okay, there's changes in data. Okay, so we know that TCK originally at 50K plus 8.8Q. So they changed 50 because they said they increased 20%. So to get in the increase here, so 50,000 times 1.2 equals 60. So the new TCK equation want to be 60,000 plus 8.8Q. Okay, so this is the new. So we're going to use this one. And then they need to supply 20,000 chicken per month. So we need to calculate the TCK. So we set Q 20,000. So they ask for both location, Kedah and Pulau Pinang. So you need to calculate the TC for Kedah first. So 20,000 you put in for the Q. Okay. Remember, use the new one. So we get 236,000. And for TC, PP, you see the same. They say no changes. 80,000 plus 7.5 times the Q, 20,000, you get 230,000. Okay, now we're going to choose which better location. So when we talk about cost, we want to find the lowest cost possible. When we talk about profit, we want a higher profit. So when we talk about cost, so which one to choose? We're going to choose the lowest one, 230,000. So how to answer this to get full mark? You have to say Pulau Pinang is the better location because the question asks you why, due to the lowest cost. Okay, then you get 3 marks. If you finish until here, you get 2 marks. So you are missing 1 mark. So you need to write the sentence. So you get the full 3 marks. Okay, so it's quite clear on this step by step. And we're going to do the last part. Now, it's we don't longer use the graph. Okay, so if the company targeting profit, so we're going to talk about profit. So when we heard about profit, we're going to use this formula. Profit equal Q. R is what? R is the selling price. Okay, minus V. V is a variable cost, and FC is a fixed cost. So we're going to use this data again. Okay, don't use the new one. So this one still stick to the original one. So we have the variable cost again, fixed cost for both location. And then we want to know that the profit. So the profit here going to be 50,000. And then Q, we need to find Q actually. R is selling price. So R is 12 ringgit. And then V is here for both and FC is here for both. So we're going to calculate. So when we want to find Q, so we rearrange the variables, then we get Q equal to P plus fixed cost over R minus variable cost. So we do for the Kedah first, QK, I call it. So profit 50,000, fixed cost 50,000, selling price 12 ringgit minus variable cost 8.8. So we get 31,250 chicken for Kedah. And we're going to do for QPP, profit 50,000, fixed cost Pulau Pinang is 80,000, divide by 12, R is 12 minus variable cost for Pulau Pinang is 7.5, so we get 28,889 chicken. So question asks us anything to choose? No, they just want to know what is the quantity for both locations. So that's it. So we get 4 marks for that. Okay, so before you conclude, you check dulu ada tak soalan dia tanya which one is the best, which one is the less chicken ke apa ke, tak ada. So it's clear. So finish and then we get all the 10 marks. Okay, so very simple, but be careful. Okay, so we're done with 1. example from the past year. And then we're going to do January 2018. Okay. And this one we check first. Is there any fixed cost, variable cost? No. Oh, lega. Alhamdulillah. We're not going to draw any graph. So, but we have coordinate. Oh, okay, coordinate. When we talk about coordinate, we know that the method they're going to use is center of gravity method. Very simple. And remember, gravity center ni, it's mostly best for the distribution. For example, warehouse. Okay, you have warehouse. Contohnya you have JNT. Okay, post laju. So they need to do the distribution. So they need to know where is the best location to get the best customer delivery on time. Okay, so they are using the center of gravity because there's no cost involved here for the calculation. And we have 4 coordinate X and Y, and also we have the volume or here they use the student population because they're talking about the dorm. So they are going to determine where is the best location for the sport complex. Okay. All right. So we have the information. Now we're going to start to do calculation, make another table, separate the X and Y coordinate. So you have one column for X. So these are all the X. And then one column for Y. So you have all the Y here. And then the quantity here. So sum the quantity first. Okay, because you're going to use this later on. So once you ready the table, okay, you have done the sum for the volume or quantity or population, whatever information here. Then you use this formula. So the formula is for X, you need to times the coordinate X with the quantity for each location. So 10 times 700 plus 15 times 900 and then plus 20 times the volume and then 22 times the volume, then you sum. Okay, sum and divide by the sum of the volume. So you get 16.65. Do the same thing for Y. So now you're using this column times with the quantity for each location, and then you sum, then divide by again the sum of the volume. So 3180. So you get 15.63. Okay, finish? Not yet, because they ask you what is the best location. So the center of gravity is 16.65, 15.63. That's the answer. So you get, okay, marks for that. Kalau tidak, you only have tak sampai habis. So this one you need to write. But there's one statement that you need always use whenever you do the center of gravity. What is the statement? Please check the physical condition of the suggested location. Why? Because you never know what is the exactly location is that. Sometimes tanah kubur, rel kereta api, in the water, kumbahan, and we don't know. So we need, before we suggest to our top management, we need to check physically, actually, where is the exact point of 15.65 and 15.63 on the map. So tiba-tiba you pergi check, oops, ada indah water punya pump. Takkan you nak cakap, okay bos, buat kat sini. Okay, and then sometimes you have drain, monsoon drain yang besar-besar tu, exactly on that dot. So you have to adjust. Okay, adjust sikit. Maybe you move ahead, okay, move somewhere so that not exactly on top of that. Okay, so you need to use this clause, okay, this clause to attach with the center of gravity punya jawapan. Okay, all right, simple as that. Center of gravity, very clear, kan? Siapa dah belajar dia, oh okay, I remember, Umi told me this. Okay, so it coming back to you. So very simple. Okay, we're going to do the last method. Okay, the last method also very simple because there's no graph, there's no cost involved, there's only just a simple calculation. First we scan dulu, ada tak cost, tak ada tak coordinate, tak ada, and we know definitely this is the factorating method. Okay, factorating method you can use actually in any scenario. Tak semestinya location. Okay, this is a very problem solving, macam dia bantu you untuk make decision. Okay, so sometimes you are the three, kat sini they have 3 location. So maybe you have 3 job waiting for you. So you do this factorating to make you to choose which one that you prefer. So factor depends. Kalau you rasa a factor tu penting for you to make decision, contohnya if you have 3 job, 3 job offer. So maybe location, the distance is, and then you tengok if there any LRT or any public transportation nearby, or parking very important for you, or maybe the distance from your is there any rumah sewa around the area, and also you nak check juga if there any shop, okay, untuk lunch nanti kan. So all of these you need to consider, so you can put the factor. So and then you bagi score. Okay, the weight is depends. If the factor is very important, then you put a higher weight. If the factor is not important, then you can put lower weight. So let's look at this scenario. UiTM nak buka campus baru. Okay, there are 3 location. So these are the factor that very important when they want to consider. First, facilities. Maybe the facilities nearby the area. Maybe stadium ke, masjid ke, something yang maybe kalau buka campus kat situ, they can help the student punya needs. Lecturer availability, or whether it's nearby, let's say housing area, nearby town. Okay, tak adalah kat tengah-tengah hutan macam tu. So lecturer availability pun very important. Land price is important. Okay, and utilities, electric, senang masuk, water, and also Wi-Fi, okay tak signal, ataupun you punya coverage. Okay, your coverage for your smartphone and so on. So all of these, they say that is very important. Then they give the weight. Okay, who do the scoring? Usually the top management who going to make the decision. So they give, okay, the score going to be 1 to 100, depends. And when we get this data, so we check the weight first. Is the weight in form of point form? Not yet. So you need to convert first. Okay. So how to convert the weight? Selalunya weight akan bagi 0.5, 0.4. So this one, since they tak bagi, so you need to convert first. So sum of the weight first. Sum all of the weight here is 100. So what you have to do, you have to convert 40 into point form. So 40 over 100, you get 0.4. 30 over 100, you get 0.3. 15 over 100 is 0.15, and same goes here. So bila you campur balik, it's going to be 1. Okay, then you will start to do the calculation. Make another table. So what you have to do, put the answer inside here. Weight times with the score. Weight times the score, weight times the score, weight times the score. So put all here, and last row represent the sum. So you sum up all the score here. So you get this one. And B, do the same thing, 0.4 times 75, 30, 0.3 times 70, 21. So you do until this 60 times 0.15, you got 9, and you sum all the column. Okay, so do the same thing for C, weight times the score, sum, and you want to make decision, which location is the best. So for score, we want to get the highest score as possible. So between these 3 locations, we know that location B got 66. So is it finished yet? No, you have to answer the question. The best location is B. Why? Due to highest total score. Okay, simple as that. Baru habis you get 10 points. Okay, so I think that's it.